The man is an artist. He's Basquiat with a 45. Some people are born with a gift. You got that gift, bang.
Hey, baby. I missed you.
Bang, dinner tomorrow night, my treat.
I just had 7 bullets fished out of my chest. How come I'm not dead?
There was an accident. Mother and baby made it. Husband was killed, and now you have his heart.
I need you back on the horse.
There's something different about you. Got a second chance. Seems wise. I should use it.
You don't retire. Who retires?
You let him into the family, and this is what he does.
Those men that are after you, what are you gonna do to them?
He's still alive.
I want him dead.
We gotta go.
I don't even know your name.
Okay, Jack, how you doing?
John, what's happening, man? I'm good.
Oh,
I'm in Hungary. I
I
just
was gonna
woke up
say,
like an hour ago.
yeah, like this, you're probably the earliest interview I've ever did too. Like it's 7:15. I'm in Panama City Beach, so
Oh,
yeah, so this
where are you?
I'm in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a great
Yes,
place.
yeah. I moved here about 2 years ago. I love it. I mean, it's hotter than anything right now, but other than that, it's great.
But those
So
are some great beaches. You got Fort Walton, Destin, Santa Rosa, gorgeous over there.
absolutely. Now I've always I've been following your career. You've done a lot of movies that I love. 12 Strong. Hell, you were in Death Wish with Bruce Willis. But I never thought I'd get a chance to interview Hellboy. So I know we're
Yeah,
supposed to talk. I know we're
that's
supposed to talk
fine.
about. Listen, I get it. We're supposed to talk
It's
about.
all good, baby.
Yeah, like, can you just talk about like stepping into that role and like what it meant to you, like taking over from Ron Perlman to David Harbour, and just like tell me about the day you found out you were going to be Hellboy.
I was driving my friend who came to visit me in Detroit. I was in Detroit. I was driving back from the airport. I think I was just past Inkster, which is this little rough part of Detroit. I get a phone call from a producer, and I worked with him years ago on an action movie as well. It was Outpost.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they were like, "Hey, man, I got this wild idea. How do you feel about being in Hellboy?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And when do we go? I just left the airport. Should I turn around? And he's like, no, 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 I want you to play the guy. And I was like, oh, I was just like, I was a little bit, I don't want to say flustered, but I was like, it just came out of nowhere. And he's like, look, man, we're moving fast, but you got to jump through some hoops. I'll send you the details, blah, blah, blah. I got home. I jumped all over it. I read it, put something together for him and some producers. And they were like, fuck yeah, this is the guy. Everybody was like, this is the guy. That's what they're saying, not me. So that's the backstory of the first day.
Now, how did it feel like when you were full, get up, you had everything on, like, and you walked out? Like, how did it feel? Like, what was it like? Yeah, like I'm Hellboy. It's like we were like, what were the reactions and everything?
The first time they flew me out for the entire process of casting you and molding you, this was done in London. Honestly, it was exciting and it was a little surreal. It was a little bit, I don't want to say nerve-wracking or intimidating, but it was a little bit, like you said, there's a lot of people who've done this. You were a little bit like, how's this going to compare? How are we going to distinguish ourselves? What's the process? How are we going to tackle this? All this stuff was kind of swimming through my brain. So it was a mixture of excitement and nerves and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes. So okay. So now we're talking about Bang, of course. I watched it last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's in my wheelhouse. I'm an action guy, as you know. I do an action film site. So now let me talk about Weech Kassanan, who directed the movie. He's also, Weech Chaos. He goes by. Talk about working with him, his style, because he's got like that noir style, like when he's filming. Like, he films his movies like in that template of like this could be like a 1950s era movie, like type of thing. Like, it's like you can walk on stage like with a dust hat on, and it's like so. Talk about working with him.
I like him. I love Witch. He's kind of, I don't want to date him. This is just my perspective. He's kind of an old school story first kind of, no BS. Loves action. Loves the old school movies, like you said, noir. Loves the old action stuff. I think he really loves Michael Bay stuff. Loves big, big, big. He's big, big, big. As
He's
you know.
Bayhem, huh? He's into Bayhem, huh?
Yeah, he is. It's like, let's pull out a rocket launcher out of your ass. Okay, let's do it.
Right. Now let's talk about your character, William Bang. First of all, I love the name Bang. Like
Yeah,
when I got the email for the movie, I was like, and I remember one person comment, because I get a lot of comments on my social sites. They're like, "Oh, that's original." I'm like, I love the title. I'm like, Bang. It's like you totally know what you're getting into when you're watching this movie. So talk about your character, William Bang. He's a hitman. He's an assassin. We've seen it before, but this one's a little bit different. Like, I the movie comes out tomorrow, so I don't want to give too much away. But
sure.
talk about his character and how it differentiates from other type of hitman roles in the past from other people.
You know what? There were different titles floating around originally, and I
Yeah.
think Witch changed it to Bang. I love Bang too. It's just good. I just
And I
like
love
it.
how it's
Bang.
your name. It's your last
Yeah,
name
yeah.
too.
Well,
You're just Bang.
yeah, it's
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 yeah.
it's great. It's kind of like the movie. It's slightly not believable, but believable. It's fun, man. Yeah, it's a little different in a sense where you see this guy kind of transform physically, obviously. Um, I don't know if I want to say spiritually and get all freaking mushy here, but
No,
he
no
does. He
worries.
goes through a major transformation. I don't know what we could give away, what we don't, and essentially kind of changes. He has a change of heart, literally. And how that affects him and his changes, and that was the fun part of leaning into it as an actor, right? You don't just kill, shoot, bang, fight, and fucking snarl and be mean. You kind of get to throw it all out there and see how it goes. Hopefully we did a pretty good job.
Now let's talk about working with Peter Weller, like RoboCop. Like
Yeah.
talk about like he's just one of those actors. He walks into a room and everybody's just like, it's Peter Weller. It's RoboCop. So talk about like being on set with him, working with him, and how was it like behind the scenes? With like was he a good guy? Like did you get a chance to talk to him a lot?
I got the chance to listen a lot because he's a storyteller, man. He's a cigar smoking,
Yeah.
orange Porsche driving, cool shades wearing Peter Weller, man. He's a legend. He's been in a lot of great films. Obviously, even outside of RoboCop, obviously, he's got some great
Oh yes.
stories. great stories from Hollywood, and it was just fun. I mean, listen, we're hanging out, smoking cigars in Thailand, in Bangkok. Listen to some old school Hollywood stories. It was fun, man. And he's got a great presence, man. He's got a hell of a look, man.
Now
Which was
let's
he was
go ahead.
perfect. No, no, that's it.
Absolutely.
He was,
Absolutely. Like so what I liked your dynamic with him. Like
yeah,
cuz like he like your relationship is complicated. I'll say that because like even though like cuz we see in the trailer that obviously you have this change of heart and then that now he's after you and everything. But I kind of feel like, cuz he has a son in the movie, but I kind of feel like, he was treating you as like a surrogate son in a way.
absolutely. He was disappointed in his offspring, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it just doesn't. I mean, I don't. I can't differentiate the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. He might be
Right.
both,
Exactly.
but he's just that's how he's designed. He's just a stone cold killer, and he wanted what he wanted, and he's got a kind of it's a classic story of like the son who just doesn't turn out the way the over demanding narcissistic psychotic father wants, right? So
Absolutely.
he kind of grooms the son he wants, which was me, right? And then that doesn't turn out well, it doesn't, I don't know, I'm not going to say anything, I
Right.
almost said too much.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's talk about being in Thailand and like I
Yeah,
said, obviously you've been all over the world and everything.
sure.
So talk about the flavor that Thailand because obviously we each, he likes to showcase Thailand. It's its own character in a
Yep,
sense, in the movie.
yep.
So talk about working there and being in that
Awesome.
part of the
I,
world.
I I always say he's his whole family. He's amazing. His whole family's amazing. I got to know his wife, his children. He knows his crew like they're a tight knit family. Runs a great ship there. Super 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 talented crew. Super efficient. I loved working there. Honestly, I mean I've been there twice with him. I would go back anytime. I mean, it's a mission from hell, but I don't like flying. But I mean, I don't mind it, but it's like, fuck me, man. You wake up drunk 3 times on a plane and you're still there. It's like
That-
shit.
that's great. That's the best line ever. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, like, was it humid? Like, did the weather get you at all when you guys were
No,
filming?
no, no,
No.
no, no. It was paradise, man. I mean, it was hot, but it was awesome, man. I mean, I'm telling you, man. The food. We went to this spot where they served only meat in this pavilion. The food, the drinks, the whole experience was amazing.
Now, I would be hard pressed if I didn't talk. The whole last like 25 minutes of this movie is just a full on firefight, and I had a big grin on my face from ear to ear. And you, Sir Rocket, like I said, you just got that. You got that. Listen, I got Commando in the background over here, but
Yeah, I know.
you're radiating some Schwarzenegger vibes at the end of this movie, and it's awesome. Now, now let's talk about approaching the action because obviously you were in 12 Strong, you're in the
Yeah.
Outpost. Now, did you do any more training for this movie? Or you're like, I got this. I've already done it. It's like,
No, listen, man. I mean, look, any technical skill is like you don't use it, you lose it, right? You obviously could hold. I've got some fundamentals that I've always had since I was, obviously I was in the Marines for a bit, and I've shoot
mhm.
here and there, blah blah blah. But I'm no expert, man. There's guys who train every day and they're fucking incredible. So you got to sharpen up a bit, right? You want to get to set a little early and just see what we're working with, what weapons we have, and just touch them, feel them. But for the most part, I got a good foundation, but. I'm always willing to learn more, depending on what the schedule and what we have. Right. In that case, we've had a little bit of time, but for the most part, I was able to handle it. It wasn't overwhelming. Right. I was familiar with the weapons. I'm pretty good with throwing punches. So for the most part, it was a a shoe that fits well.
Now, what I liked about, especially your movements in the action scenes, was the tactical realism. Like like how you're handling the weapons. There's this one scene like where you're like going through. You're outside. You're by a wall, and you're holding. And you do those little nuances. That special operators do. So like so that was like a really cool aspect to it. So just talk about the realism of like
I
not
learned
trying to make it over the top.
I learned
Obviously,
from a
there's
lot of I learned from a lot of great friends who are some serious operators. We talk. I know some guys who did some heavy duty operating, so to speak, and we always talk about stuff like that. So I try to incorporate it. I always try to when I get to an action film set, you don't always get people who want to embrace that. They're just like, whatever, it's just a movie. Whatever, it's just a movie. You know, you hear that a lot. And then you know, that's not always the case. You always want to inject authenticity as much as you can, right? Without compromising obviously the process and the schedule and all that stuff. So in this case, man, if you picked up on that, man, I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Like that's my main, like I love
Right.
military type action movies and stuff like that. And I actually I'm into martial arts and I did work and train with military guys, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm really into, so when I watch movies, I really pick up on that sense.
Cool.
Now talk about real quick, like growing up, you know, obviously, did you always want to be an actor, and at the same time, like what were some of your influences, you know, in terms of action cinema growing up?
No, thanks for asking, but no, I never had any aspirations to be an actor. It came out of nowhere. I really, at 24, 25 years old, I took a class. I just had this deep desire to do something with myself, and I didn't know what it was. I went to a couple of different schools for different kind of careers, wiring, electrical engineering. I hated it. I just felt like construction. Was like, fuck this shit, you know.
Right.
I don't want to give you too much. I don't know. It came out of nowhere, man. Like a beautiful woman, you know. Just like, wow, there you are, and we met and we got along, and it was a long climb to get some work, but you know, I definitely didn't want to be an actor. It just happened in my later years, in my mid-20s, you know.
Right now, what were some of your influence? Like, did you love action movies growing up?
I did. I'm trying to think back because man, it feels so long ago. You know, when I fell in, when I when I
I'm
fell in love with
52, dude. Like, it's been
uh,
further for me. So,
you know, when I first fell in love with movies, I just fell in love with cinema in general. It wasn't so much prejudiced on genre. I just liked everything. I've devoured every movie, every play, every book. I've watched obscure Korean films to South African films to Polish films. So it wasn't so much action or drama or not. I was just consuming a lot of film. You know, it was fucking rotting my brain.
that's a great answer. So I don't want to keep you much longer because I know you're a busy man. So I just want to ask you. So like you're like you're in Hungary now. Like, is there
Yeah.
anything interesting that like is it just are you on just vacation? Are you doing something
No, we're
special?
shooting a Apple show. It's me, Anthony Mackie, and Jamie Dorman. We're running around robbing banks.
Oh,
That's all I'll say.
that sounds awesome. All
Yeah,
right.
every kid's dream.
Right, like and like now talk about again real quick, like working with some of these big, you know, big time actors and everything. Like, do you have an anecdote with any one of them that like you could just think that rolls off the top of your head? Like any great moment working with any of these guys?
You mean this one specifically?
No, just in general. Like you've worked with so like obviously you were like you're in Deadpool 2. You're in like I
Yeah,
said, Death Wish with Bruce Willis. You know, which happened to be one of Bruce Willis's later movies and
yeah,
everything. So
yeah,
just talk about like working with Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. I mean, I could go on. You've been at all.
yeah,
You worked with everybody.
yeah. I went through every rifle.
Absolutely.
Ah, man, you got me off guard here, man. Honestly, I don't have a bad story or a good story. I kind of keep it professional, you know. And and the few stories I have, they're a little bit R-rated, X-rated. So, you know,
It's
maybe
okay.
for another time, you know,
Absolutely. Well,
for a
Jack, I want
late night show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, Jack, obvious Bang comes out tomorrow. I can't wait for people to see it.
All
You're
right.
awesome in it. Like I
Thank
said,
you. I
you're the
appreciate
one
it,
man.
John.
Obviously, you know you got some people helping you at the end there, but you're the one man army. You're the show. You're the reason why people are going to watch this and gravitate towards it. And I listen. I think you're just you know I don't know if it's by design, but you're starting to elevate yourself into an action star. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm ready, man.
Absolutely.
That would be
So,
awesome.
make as many action movies as you want, sir, because I will watch them, and hopefully we get to talk in the future when you're doing another one. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk with little old me about your
You're good,
movie.
John. Thank you for taking the time as well, man.
Absolutely. Well, you enjoy Hungary,
I
enjoy
will.
filming, and continue success in the future, my friend.
All right. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
All
Enjoy
right. Bye bye.
Florida. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. See you later.